In the car. With all the cases already in the boot, I opened the passenger door and she got into the car. I thought it was too dangerous to leave right in the middle of the day, but she had insisted in her way. I had never said no to her. She was my life. I fastened her seatbelt. Truly, it wasn't necessary, but she always wanted things to carry on as normal. Sitting there with her head resting on the headrest, it seemed like days gone by. Happy moments, perfect summers. As I got into the driver's seat, I felt a shiver of fear. I tapped my nails on the steering wheel to get rid of my nervous energy, while I looked in the rear-view mirror. It didn't work. I didn't know if I could continue on like this, always on the road. As much as my idea was impossible, I wanted to buy a house and stay there for all of my life, with her, the most beautiful woman I had ever seen. She gave me a worried look. I pressed the play button on the dashboard. She smiled. The song was a happy memory. Then I started the engine. These journeys were always tense, but we had a destination and a route on the sat-nav. To tell the truth, I always had more than one route, for safety and my relative peace of mind. I tried to keep the needle within the speed limit, but it was a difficult thing to do when you were on the run. Sometimes I leaned on the armrest to look casual to any observers, but I couldn't stop looking through the rear window, dozens of times every minute. Their cars weren't difficult to determine, but it wasn't unusual for me to miss a street sign, to not hear the voice directing us, because my mind was elsewhere. At 6 o'clock, we stopped at a lay-by. There were other cars parked there and a minivan, but nothing that worried me. I began to eat a sandwich that I had prepared before leaving. A woman of some 40 years old, who was stretching her legs, looked absent-mindedly into the passenger compartment. I didn't realise the significance until she was far away. The seatbelt. Had she seen it or not? My heart was beating in my ears. I remedied the situation straight away. It didn't make sense to take such a risk. Why had I done it? I wanted to leave without waiting another second, but that would have been a lot more suspicious. I finished eating the sandwich, but it was difficult to swallow. Half an hour later, we were on the road again. After sunset, I began to feel more relaxed, until the moment the traffic became congested. I turned on the radio. According to the news, there was no accident. There were many reasons for such a problem, but I was filled with a relentless feeling of panic. I had good reason. There was a car on the hard shoulder, driving slowly. The car stopped near a vehicle in front of us. There were 3 others between that one and us. An agent, with a logo I knew well on his jacket, leaned on the car window, his head nearly in the passenger compartment, one hand on the roof. He was wearing the special glasses. He signalled to the driver to pull over onto the side of the road. We only had one chance. There was a crossroads 2 kilometres behind us. My hand on the gear stick, I took a deep breath. They were not taking her away. Her business was not finished. It would never be finished until I was also dead.